adjacent apartment. So that's it. They were charged for damaging property. The apartment, the door, the inanimate objects got more justice than Breonna Taylor.
It did. It really did.
That's the end all, be all of what happened in that case. But if you look at it purely from a law standpoint, there wasn't really much that could be done because the way the law is set up, it's not set up for the people. The law protects police officers way more than civilians.
With everything that's been happening, and it's been a domino effect. It's like everything is every 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It's always the same type of story with a different gender.
They are basically given all autonomy to kill Black and brown folk, and they are shielded by the laws that are set, that were supposed to be set in place to protect the same people. They're not. I've been listening to the Huey P. Newton reader, which I suggest you definitely pick up. It has his autobiography, his cases, his letters, his speeches, basically all of that stuff, and it makes you want to be a revolutionary because it shows you how America was not designed with Black and brown folks in mind, and we were set up to be a resource for free labor, and once we stopped serving that purpose, we were thrown away. There's multiple examples. I'm not going to go into the book because they're not paying us to promote it, but it, 100%, it's not. America wasn't made for Black and brown people in mind.
Oh, check out the movie Antebellum.
Yes,
you'll get a lot out of that one.
Yes. But yes, the premise behind the Breonna Taylor situation, in a nutshell, was there was a warrant served on the property without knowing if the individual that the warrant was served for was actually still living at the property. It was for her ex-boyfriend. Right. So it was a no-knock warrant, which is now illegal in Kentucky. Yay, for whatever that means. That means they don't have to knock. They don't have to announce themselves. They can just go into the apartment unannounced, which is now illegal in a lot of states. And Kentucky being one of them, where this happened in Louisville, Kentucky now. They got the warrant, whether they got it under false information or accurate information is still yet to be determined. There's new things that have come out, new allegations that they're still looking into, so we can't really speak on it. But it was for her ex-boyfriend, who was not living at the residence, who hadn't been living at the residence for quite some time. So due diligence, had that been done, a lot of this could have been avoided. Now, they came in, obviously they didn't have to knock, and the boyfriend, her current boyfriend, started shooting at what he thought was an intruder. Now, gunfire rang out, it quieted down. He sent her to see what he potentially may have hit or whom he may have hit. Red flag number 2. If you're shooting at something, why are you sending the person without the gun to go check and see what you shot at? Okay. That's how she ended up being gunned down in her apartment. And her boyfriend didn't get grazed by a bullet, didn't have a stitch, didn't have a wound for a Band-Aid. And Breonna is dead.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get the direct answer with this story. I feel like there's so many openings to it that it's just gonna be one of those cold cases. Like,
yeah. Well, it's not a cold case because we know who
killed her, but they're never gonna. Yeah, that's not gonna be.
Her family got their version of justice, which is the $12 million settlement.
And then it was saying that because they took it, they took the money. That's the reason why.
But think about it though. I see it from their point of view.
Right.
I can take the money and do something in the community or help legislation be passed to change. But if I wanted to be righteous and not take the money and they still weren't charged, what comes out of it? You get what I'm saying? So I get why they took the money, but I would have still fought harder to make sure that somebody was charged for my child. Manslaughter,
Killed my child,
something.
and you're giving me money as a hush hush.
Like, shit, something.
Yeah. This story will just keep reading into it. That's about it, because it's still ongoing.
But know the laws, and that's why I was never, sad to say, I was never outraged when I heard about the indictment and the grand jury and all that stuff like that, because I knew that the laws were not set in place to protect civilians. So I knew that this was going to, I knew for a fact everybody wasn't going to get charged. If it was one person that got charged, it would be like the head. I knew the chief of police was going to get a little something. But that's it. So it doesn't surprise. None of that surprises me. You have to know the laws, honestly, in order to make the laws work for you. You have to know. You have to know your laws. You have to know basically you have to know your city, state, locale, because they can all be different. Municipality, you have to know every single law in order to honestly live in America. Like it. Yeah.
Let's get off the depression.
Yes. And we're back. So we have a surprise for you guys. This sneaky little ninja over here decided to write and publish a book during quarantine.
You see, he put his time to something.
Exactly. During quarantine, he decided to, just sneakily one day say, hey, you know what, my book dropped today. Without any forewarning, without any promotion. And guess what the book's about? How to promote yourself on social media.
Taylor
Elajas will now explain to you his keys to success.
Social media, you better listen, because that's the world now. That is the world now.
This is what our world is, and this is how you thrive in it.
There we go.
I did release a book called Behind Blurred Walls: Secrets to Expanding Your Brand, or Expanding Your Brand, rather. And you can catch it on Kindle, Barnes and Nobles, Apple Books, wherever you can read books.
Mm-hmm. It's not soon on Audible.
Soon on Audible.
So you can listen.
Exactly. Listen to the guy.
Listen.
Because okay.
I understand. I'm not even a big reader. That's why
What? You shut up.
All right, now we here.
That's what you get for not telling us that he wrote it down.
I like to make my moves in private until they outside. I like to keep my moves silent until I can just put them out, because I don't like bad energy.
I hear that.
My space, So because I got to this point in life to where I can either release a book by just doing things on my own and not really asking nobody for opinions. So the book is about specifically Instagram, but I also touch into verification on Google and Facebook and just social media in general. But the things that apply to Instagram also apply to a lot of different social media platforms. But it is mainly on Instagram and how to gain traffic and gain more followers organically, and how to increase your reach and telling you things that are not told to you. Anybody that tells you how to grow Instagram, they tell you just post and it'll just happen. Just make content, you'll build a fan base, and it'll just happen. But that's literally the answer to people that tell you when they don't actually care about giving you any real information, because people fear another person trying to take their place or another person reaching their level. I don't fear any of that because I'm me and no one can be me. So
and you have to understand that your brand is
exactly
different for you.
Exactly.
It's unique for you. How many followers do you have? Like 25,000, 30,000?
Between TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, I got like 35K.
There we go. 35,000 organically. No bots.
Yeah.
No, I'ma pay $100 for 100.
Without disclosing what's in the book, what would you say would be something that people should go by? It's like, if they want to be out there, they want to get their followers up, they want to, what is it that, pictures, poses. What?
OnlyFans,
Right? I mean, that's a different.
That's honestly still like OnlyFans. Not even to go too deep to OnlyFans, but like OnlyFans, it has a bad connotation because of what it was used for in the beginning. But like, there's certain people that use it to just find their core fan base, find their core audience, like people that will pay for something that you offer.
They out here looking for feet. I could swing them. So I'm telling you, I could do a little OnlyFans.
I was thinking about putting some filters though.
I could put a filter on.
I seen the girl that got paid mad money for acting like a dog.
Oh yeah,
and she was getting money for that.
Yeah. I'm debating starting a little OnlyFans for feet.
There's
feet and elbow picks.
There's
Elbows are underrated.
Okay.
There's elbows
are underrated.
People like that type of shit.
Yeah. Yep, a little whipped cream on the top.
They like that shit.
Exactly.
That's an elbow job.
Like that, exactly. Elbow job. They like that freak nasty shit.
They would like a what? They would like a toe.
And listen, get 100K for some toes.
It's very
possible. But back to you. Back to you. But what inspired you to actually write?
Yes.
It took me really way too long. I'm not gonna lie. It probably took me like 6 months.
Total quarantine.
It took just because like being that it's all in my head, I couldn't write it passively. You know,
okay.
Life happens, whatever. But I wanted to write the book because, like I said, I fear no one. Like I fear no competition. Like
you finally got to that point.
I've been at that point. Like once I realized who I am, like. Right. You can't be me.
I love it.
Right.
Love it.
I'm too unique.
It's that black boy joy. There you go. There you go.
You know?
I'm too unique. I love that.
I'm too unique for you to copy me. I just want to help you be the best you can be.
I love that confidence.
That'll actually propel me even further because you live longer when you teach other things. You know, like I could die tomorrow, but I know that I've taught so many people so many things that my information will still live longer than I actually will be on this earth.
And how old are you again?
That's what I'm sure.
I'm only 22. I'm saying
22.
Look at God.
Do you
look at God?
22.
Look at God.
He's going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. He has confidence in himself. So there's nobody that's gonna come around to tell him, what are you talking about?
Yep.
No. Yep. It's all your fast little girls that don't read and don't read. What? Stay away. Go try to learn something.
Yeah.
But yes, we're super proud of him.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You need to pick up the book and all your streaming platforms. It will soon be on Audible. Oh, look at this food. It'll soon be on Audible. You pick it up on the Kindle app. You can pick it up Barnes and Noble.
That's lovely.
It's on Amazon too.
It's on everything.
Yeah,
nice.
It's on Amazon.
All e-reading platforms.
All e-reading platforms.
You helped y'all out this year.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yes, we're super proud of him, and we want you to drop in the comment section what you think about the book and what you learned from the book, and we are picking one lucky subscriber to get a prize that we will determine at a later date. So, have fun reading. And we are back with our signature segment, which is also acronymed SS, Sticky Situation. Today's two sticky situations are the usual mix of ratchet and toxic that we just love so much. You guys just keep sending it in. xychroniclespodcast@gmail.com to have your sticky situations maybe read during a taping if it's messy enough, because if it's self-explanatory,
details
exactly, because at this point maybe I'll read it but then they're gonna veto it and then we're gonna just get nowhere. It's gonna just get lost. Hey, it is what it is. But today's first sticky situation is, here's my situation. I've been messing with this guy for 8 years. We've both been through relationships during our time messing around together. Now I've been married for 6 months and still can't seem to quit him. He lives with his girlfriend and we link up when we are alone and free. I don't know how you're alone and married, but I know this is so toxic. And now I don't get it. Where your husband go? And now I am 6 weeks pregnant with my husband, and I know this marks the end of us. I have not told him, and I plan on ghosting him from here on out. I'd like advice on how to quit someone that I have complete lust for. At least she's honest with us. I think we keep messing with each other because we have and always had such a high sexual chemistry, which is rare. Help my crazy ass stop thinking about him. What can I say to him to stop hitting my phone? How about you just send him a sonogram picture? I bet you he'll stop. Even if you think it's his, he gonna stop hitting you up because you're not his girl and he has no intentions of making you his girl. So he's gonna be like, well, that's her baby, not mine. If he thinks it's his, and if you tell him it's your husband's, he gonna stop dealing with you anyway because you're of no use to him for 9 months.
No, he not.
It
Because
depends.
she still give it to him
During pregnancy.
She gotta make it seem like it's his. She can't. She gotta put it in the air.
But
It's
if
like
you
it may
wanted
not
her
be
to
mine.
be his girl, you've been dating already 8 years. How come you don't want somebody to try it out?
But as long as he knows that it's not his, he'll still hit.
exactly.
You have to be up in there.
Exactly.
You gotta be up in there.
Okay.
And
You gotta be
then
like,
what advice do you need from us? How can you tell him? How can you stop speaking to him? How
You know
Because
she
like-
knows. I feel like this happened before in terms of she tried to ghost him, and he did what the other said and was like, "Yo, nah, we need to talk. Nah, meet me one last time. Nah, I need to see you." Boom. Fuck.
You don't need to do that though. If you really want to end it, you don't have to do any of that. Just ghost niggas. Why is it so hard to ghost people?
Block them.
penis.
Yo, if y'all see my, let me tell you, America, if you see my block list, baby, I have no problem blocking a nigga, a bitch, a family member, a pastor. I'm blocking everybody. If you are no good, no. If you are no good for my mental health, blocked. I will block you and still see you at family functions. I don't care. I got a couple cousins blocked. I'm not even playing. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I got a couple cousins blocked. And my aunt asked me, I ain't like what he said. I don't know what to tell you. Like, don't be afraid to cut negativity and people who are not good for your mental health out your life. That's it. No explanation. No, oh, this is why I did it. Oh, no, none of that. Blocked.
Absolutely. Super. So I just feel it's excuses. I feel like she know what she needs to do. I'm not even sure that's the husband they
Yeah. Yeah, because if the sexual chemistry is that crazy,
yeah,
it ain't.
that means that you're not
It's
really
not
having
sex.
exactly. You're not really having sex like that with your husband. This man is the man that you're constantly having sex with. So
Ain't no wild sexual chemistry with condom sex. Let's
stay crazy. She's not even into her husband. If you was really into your husband, you wouldn't be having an affair.
Yeah.
So that's just what it is.
Lord.
I love it.
Yeah,
I like the sonogram idea. Just send him a sonogram.
thank you. Exactly. With this emoji. Who's like that? Like that's
Then what if the man be like, "Oh, word," and then be like, "Is
I'm
it
leaving
mine?"
my girl.
Yeah, and then what? Then what?
Send him the sonogram.
Say, I don't know.
Like literally, that's it. Send him the sonogram and block him. Listen, sis.
And maybe if you come, then maybe you should just be with him. If you come back and be like, hey,
That's
Mom,
what they hear.
But what if
But
here's where it could go bad.
she'll love her husband.
What if the husband and him look drastically different? That baby come out, you know that ain't your baby. So you fucked up your marriage, and you don't even get the sign for that because you don't
So
get
that's what
that
get your
your
stuff.
fault.
When you want
You
go
put
for
yourself in that
dick,
position, that's
and they gonna mess up what you have because you want pleasure. Talking about it's the lust. You could get rid of lust. If you really sit, why would you want to even deal with that? And then you're 6 weeks pregnant. You're still dealing with this man for dick, and then you got a husband, and now I'm feeling like the only reason why you got married was just
to get away from
to just
because he had a girlfriend.
Like, yeah,
You got married.
so
He had a
he got a girlfriend. So let me try to
Yeah.
do something with somebody that actually wants. Like, let me have an upper. What the fuck are you doing?
exactly what.
That's why. No, fuck this. Like she.
That's exactly what happened.
No.
Sis said,
Sonogram.
you got a girlfriend.
Yeah. All right. So this nigga want to marry me. Let me marry you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yo, give me a fruit snack. Just send the fucking coolest. Yo.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We're humans. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Alright, so basically, X has no number one, our advice is you either send him the photo, block him, and that's it. Hit him with the
MJ shrug.
Exactly.
Is it yours? I
don't know. How am I supposed to know? I don't know.
Children's scarement.
That's really it.
Just send it and block it. If you be like, I don't know, then it's gonna be then there's gonna be more access for him to ask more questions and want to be probably
Pretty much.
yeah.
That's really the best we got.
Quarantine time, niggas go on the shelter. It's winter. Like,
Cold world. Can't do it. That's what we got. Now, on to our second SS, which is just as mildly retarded as the first one. My boyfriend and I have been together since October. We met on a dating app, so he knew what I wanted. I'm 41 and I don't have kids, but want one. Number one, you gotta get checked because if you've been trying and you're still 41, that might be an internal issue. Whereas he's the same age and has 3 children by 3 different women. We talked before and he said he wasn't sure about having kids, but maybe. Red flag number 1.
Sure.
He never committed.
Exactly.
He's sure.
He was sure about having those kids. He's not sure about having kids with you, big fella.
I feel like as young as we are, sometimes you have to step back and look at the picture. If you see a man has 3 baby mothers, and has no commitment to these women, and still don't know what he wants as of when it comes, he's telling you right there and then. He's letting you know exactly what it is, and it's like you're wasting your own time. You can't put it on him to say like, oh, you waited for him, and this is no, because at the end of the day, you could have made that decision, seen what is going on, and kept it moving.
Okay, women think they coochie magical.
Bro, everybody think
I got the
that.
magic
I could fix him.
I don't even need to think that because they act
Magic
low.
coochie.
Yep. Let me tell you something. Yo, if your clit looking like cottage cheese and looking like roast beef, sis, just hang it up.
Oh my God! Like I like to hear when they be like an older woman, you know, has this type of mentality. It's kind of sad because you can't really. His age is nothing but a number. You can't put a mentality on someone to be like. But I honestly don't feel like you should even wait around.
But she did say something. She said, I'm tired of starting relationships again, and maybe it's too late for me to have one anyway, meaning a child. I could meet someone else and not get pregnant. What should I do? So she is right. She is taking a chance if she decides to leave or whatever the case may be. She is taking a chance of, I might meet somebody that I really like or another relationship and still not get pregnant. So leaving what he brings to the table and his value.
Really gonna be happy? Like, is she gonna be understand that she's gonna play stepmommy, but in the back of her mind, she's still gonna want her home.
You gonna mess up that kid's life. Make that kid have like some type of mental disease. You gonna have the kid like 50, 45. You gonna be 65 when your kid is 20.
That's
Don't do that to your kid.
She might be a young 41 though.
I don't care. You start 41.
41.
No. I'm talking about
just like that. I'm not gonna
you can be young in mind, but you still 65. Your kid is 20. That's just disturbing. you go to parents to conferences. Everybody, your kids are friends.
65. Look,
it's not about looking 65. You're 65.
Lenny Kravitz is 59.
Girl, you talking about Lenny Kravitz?
But that's what
Let's
I'm
really
saying.
think about our community.
Blacks don't. You see,
Look at the
Black people eat
41-year-old.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Black crack. Black people
maybe
don't know
she
how to
only
eat.
She sound country.
Black don't crack, but black people don't know how to eat, so they die fast.
Maybe she only eat from just salad. All right, maybe that's her place. Panera is her place.
1 in every 30 black people. One every 30 black people eat just salad. Just salad is fire too.
Yeah, it is.
1 in every like 30 black people eat at just salad.
Yeah.
She eating 5 McDonald's. Stop trying to have kids, bro. So. That's my opinion. You gonna mess with your kid. Like, I don't care how young you look, how young you feel. You 65, your kid 20.
You can't be clowning parent-teacher conferences.
You want your child to be like, yeah, that's
kid.
my mom, that's my dad. Nah, yeah, they over there.
Adopted. Yeah, exactly. Adopted kid.
Yes, I
70,
mean,
kid 25.
she did say, you know, you might as well just settle. If you want to still be with him and not give yourself that chance, which I feel like everybody should give themselves chances. If you don't want to do that, then just stay with the man.
He might change his mind after. Y'all might have some gray embryos, and you mean your eggs might not be too dusty at that point in time.
It's not going to change.
You already got 3 kids.
Already got 3 kids.
Done.
Clearly, living by the seat of his pants on.
3 different women. That's stress already to a man. You
Exactly.
gotta know what. And then she gonna add to it.
Or baby mother.
And then you want to be a baby mother. You want to be a wife. What are you gonna do? You just want to have his kid? What are you?
She
what,
said,
what,
but
what
she
are you
did.
doing?
Yeah, she didn't say she wanted to get married. She did say she just wanted to have a baby.
What?
You
what?
don't have
So
that
you might as
factory.
well go to somebody else to do
But
it.
she's saying she might not get pregnant if she go with somebody else. She
Well,
already feeling him.
You're already wrong. You're already in it for wrong reasons.
And you need
You're
to
trying
find
to see
out.
You're not even trying to, like,
yeah, you need to
you're trying
find
to see
out
them.
if you can before you
Right,
talk about
right,
you
right,
want this and you
right,
want that.
Right.
Get a
That's
surrogate
it.
dad.
Cause ain't it for men they like 60 and they still popping kids?
They
Like
have kids until they're done.
so then
Women already up until menopause.
so your whole thing about you're afraid if you go into something else and then it won't happen for you, then get yourself checked. Know your health before you go into something.
Or
else.
do you need a man to have a baby? If you want a baby so bad, get a donor. If you don't want a baby. But then that's the whole point. Look at his track record, right? And by no means am I judging because I got 2 child fathers. But yeah, we're gonna be honest. Let's be honest. If you are having a baby because you want that child, and it doesn't matter who you have that baby with, then you're better off having a donor. Because having this man's baby is not committing him to the relationship. He can pick up and leave like he did his other 3 baby wives.
Listen
So
from
do
the
you
beginning.
want to be a wife or do you want to be a baby mother?
Listen from the beginning.
Just
He
like
said
Future
you
said,
don't
do you want to ride in the Camry or do you want to, what he said, the Range?
the range, whatever.
He's like, do you want to cry in a Range or do you want to cry in a Camry? It's really up to you. Like, honestly, it really is up to you.
Sorry.
So you gotta
Yeah, that's it.
Like, no.
Snap out.
He said what he said, and
Yeah.
I believe that. And that was a long lesson learned for me. When they say what they say,
Listen.
they mean it, and you need to listen.
Oh, Lord,
Don't
listen.
go talking about, oh yeah, if you stay, then maybe he gonna.
Lord, Father, Jesus. No.
So
Listen
yeah,
to what these
with
men are
that,
saying and not saying.
you need to listen. You need to take it upon yourself to figure out what's going on with you, and you really need to figure out, do you want to settle? And just be, can't even say stepmommy because that's how you do your husband.
Exactly.
So, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we got for you, champ.
Yep.
Make the best decision possible, 41-year-old.
God bless.
And we are back
Hey,
with our sports segment. And now, Hill, it's a lot that is going on in sports week. First thing is 13 Tennessee Titans players have tested positive now for COVID. So, when the NFL decided that they weren't going to do a bubble, they had to know that this was going to happen, seeing baseball and what happened with, who was it, Astros? Who had the breakout? It was Astros, whatever. Had the breakout. So if you're not going to do a bubble system, if you're going to act like everything is just a free fall and just not having fans in the stands, some states actually having fans, limited capacity, that you weren't going to have to face actual COVID positive tests and or a breakout, at this point it's just salvaging the season. They have some sort of plan where they're going to flop. They're going to switch around the bye weeks for teams. Hopefully it works. At this point, it's just getting through the season. And hopefully they do because my fantasy team is thriving right now. So hopefully they do. But I don't know because football is a full contact sport.
You touch him every 5 seconds.
Exactly. It is a full contact sport. So I don't know, but thank God the team that they played that week, which was I believe Pittsburgh Steelers, they all tested negative. So that was a blessing. So it was only Tennessee Titans and some of their staff.
I was really thinking the other day, like, how did no one get COVID yet? Even in the 3 weeks they were playing, it's like they touching each other every 5 seconds.
And they're sweating on each other. They're literally piling.
To the butt, like,
exactly, they're piling on each other. And but I do commend the NFL in their testing protocol because one player stated that he got tested 35 times. So I do commend them. They're testing. Exactly. They're shoving that stick up your nose multiple times a day. So again, they're doing what they can, but not having a bubble, you leave yourself open to this. I commend the NBA because they did what every single association should have done. Put their players in a bubble situation, limit contact with the outside world, do multiple testing to keep their players safe. The 0 tests in the NFL, in the NBA and NHL bubbles.
That's depressing, though.
The bubbles work.
They had no coochie. They had no
their families came in after a certain amount of weeks. So if you get to, I think if you get to the second round of the playoffs, then they bring your family in if you want.
The second round of the playoffs, at that point, they played
like
the rest of
games
the
before.
But they played the rest of the regular season and they played the first round.
It's only 8 games. It wasn't like
That's still
like 82 games.
That's like at least a month.
That's a month. You be fine. You've not had coochie for a month.
It wasn't fun. I think it seemed like that was like the best month of my life.
Let me tell you something. I bet you was the most focused person in the world. Was diligent. Like what? They played the best basketball ever. See what happened? All the teams, I realized all the teams that brought their families in are not in the bubble anymore. Miami, none of the players brought their families in, except for Tyler Hero. He brought his girlfriend in, and I think somebody else brought their girlfriend in, or whatever. Miami, nobody on the Lakers brought their family in, except for Rondo, who brought his brother in, but that's not a girl anyway, so whatever. I'm talking about coochie. See what happened with the Houston player that brought in the stripper?
I mean, they was losing anyway.
See what I'm saying? Everybody that brought in a little piece of pussy, a little piece of pussy is out of the damn bubble. They didn't make it. So this shows you that your focus, your vision is stronger when you go without, when you abstain. When you abstain, you don't bring strippers in the bubble.
At that point, I'm gonna give it to him though. I'm gonna give it to him because they was already about to lose. I think he brought it in like game 7. He like probably like the 8th, 9th man. He don't care. I ain't getting PTSD. Like,
great. No, he brought it in before that because he got suspended for the game. Remember, he got suspended.
But it's for like the last game.
It wasn't I think it was like the second to last game. He either brought it in the 5th game. After the 5th game, and then he was suspended for the 6th game. The stripper? Yeah! Brought Shorty into the bubble.
Honestly?
Flew her out and brought her in.
You're not a rotation player?
Yes.
I'm bringing this good.
It wasn't. Well, set his ass straight up.
He ain't bad. He probably got more base. I was getting anyway, and he was loose. He said, we was losing anyway, and I was
not on that team next year.
Definitely not, but he probably wasn't. He probably was going to be on the team anyway. Like, all these things, he was going to be on the team. He wasn't going to pre-team.
Might as well get pussy. I get it.
He probably already got his paycheck.
Right. Makes sense. So, Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic they're not likely to play tonight. And
what's it going to matter?
That basically means that bring out your brooms, folks. Sweep is happening, and LeBron is getting his 3rd ring with his 3rd team. AD is finally getting his 1st ring. No, he's at 4th. Well, no, I'm saying he won championships with 3 teams. That's how I should have said it. I apologize. He's now going to be what we thought Kawhi was going to do. Going to have 3 championships with 3 different teams. And Danny Green is about to surpass Kawhi and get his 3rd ring with his 3rd team. So, here's my issue. Nobody holds Kawhi to the same standards as any other superstar player.
They're starting to. All the sports entertainment shows, even though they're not really actually journalism shows, they're starting to put pressure on. A whole lot of clothes. But they're starting to put pressure on him, though. Like, they're like, especially with the whole Doc Rivers firing, because they're saying that, like, they went to Kawhi and was like, yo, bro, like, should we fire him? And he like...
But you gotta understand, you're asking this of a person that's on the autism spectrum. You know, say I'm lying. Say Kawhi not on the spectrum. Say Kawhi. He has all of the signs. No, I've been saying this for years. Fuck that. He got all of the signs. He can't look anybody in the eye. He's socially awkward. He does not pick up on social cues. He cannot. You ever seen one of his interviews? Kawhi is like Rain Man. He just spits out information. But that's because he shows no emotion. He's on the spectrum.
He'll like press. Have you ever seen his the interview he did with Serge?
I'm the fun guy, really?
No. You ever seen an interview we did with Serge? Where Serge is like cooking the food?
Yeah.
He's a normal person. He just don't like press. Who likes reporters? Kawhi
is on the spectrum. He did somebody else's podcast and he sounded like a robot. I can't remember the podcast. So I think it was either the Matt Barnes. I can't remember, but he sounded like a complete friggin' robot. And he sounded like he was having fun. But he would sound like he can't help it. I'm telling you, he's on the spectrum. Dig deep, America. Comment. I'm telling you, you're gonna find out he's on the spectrum. He's either been tested or he has a diagnosis of mild autism. I'm telling you.
He's not a leader though. Like
he's not. No.
Even like Greg
he's a role player.
Greg,
he plays his role.
Greg Pop said he's not a leader. Like he go out there, he do his work, but he's not a person that's supposed to.
This is what I'm saying, because he has no personality. You want to have even Kyrie ignorant ass. He has a personality. It's either you agree with him or you don't agree with him. That's it. At least I respect the fact that he has an opinion. He has a stance on something. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's not just like, I'm going to do whatever coach tell me to do. Like, you what the fuck? You have no fucking personality.
Everybody don't got a personality just because they went to the NBA. Now they must have a personality. Everybody not a leader.
But you have to.
Everybody people are really good at basketball, but that don't mean that they are able to lead people. Everybody not Hitler. Everybody not Hitler. Hitler was an amazing leader. Terrible person.
Was he?
But he's an amazing. Everybody not Hitler.
Was he? Aside from the killing Jews point he has, in my part, he had some good ideas. I'm not even.
Everybody not leader. He's a really good basketball player, but I don't mean he immediately has to lead.
So we're gonna pause because someone is dying. Take this out. Take this out. We're getting to you. Yeah, about that. And we're back. But yeah, so I get it. You don't have to be a leader to be successful, but you need at least a point, a number two. That's Paul George. Ain't it? Playoff pandemic Paul is not it at all. He choked. He did not show up. And it showed that who he was at the Pacers, who he was when he was with the Pacers, was who he was as a player. It wasn't, oh yeah, they didn't build a great team around him, or that's him. You understand? Like, he choked. He's not. And I really have faith in Paul George. I like Paul George. But Paul and Pauletta, his parents, you can't get better than that. Your parents' name is Paul and Pauletta.
Wait, really?
Like, I'm dead ass. His mother's name is Pauletta. His father's name is Paul George Sr. You can't get any better than that. Like, that's a great story. I wanted him to win. I wanted him to win.
American story.
Exactly. I wanted him to win. And he just choked like a Popeye's biscuit. Just choked. Just love.
That's why I really think you're just gonna put two good players together, just gonna look nice.
Yeah, and automatically, and that's what they assuming that's gonna happen in Brooklyn this year. I hope it does.
But they have a good relationship though. Kyrie and KD like each other.
Yeah, they're best friends.
That's why Kyrie talked out his mouth about LeBron today.
He didn't say. In his defense, he said nothing about King James. Said nothing about LeBron.
Did he say like?
He said, I always felt like I was the best option on the floor no matter what team I played for. You're supposed to feel that. whether it's cap or not, you're supposed. Who's gonna respect a player that comes out and be like, I'm a hype though. I wouldn't come to me in the clutch. But like, think about it. Who's really gonna be like,
I get it, but
I'm cool.
Come on,
like, come on. You're supposed to think I'm that man, especially since he hit that game-winning shot in the finals to win the championship.
I definitely understand confidence. You know,
come on, bro. No, it's a lot of cap. It is definitely a lot of cap. Kyrie is nice, though.
He said it out his mouth knowing it was cap.
No, you know what? I think what got lost in translation, he was trying to big up Kev. He was giving Kev his flowers while he was still alive.
That's your teammate now.
Right. So that's why I get what he was trying to do, but I honestly don't think he was trying to shade LeBron, even though
he's been trying to shade LeBron since he left LeBron. Like, he does it in slight ways. He bitching.
I think Kyrie literally speaks without thinking about what he says before he says it. This is Mr. The Earth is flat. Like, come on, you have to understand that he sometimes just says shit. Kyrie's still young. Kyrie's not that old. Like, Kyrie is still, he's in his 20s. Kyrie is still young.
Don't give me that you're still young. Once you pass 18, you know how to make decisions. You know what to say, what not to say.
That's
when
you can't think everybody is. Not everybody. I'm not saying
matures
and develops.
Like,
they won't put your book out.
Exactly.
Like, who your age put a book out?
Come on, it's not the same. So you have to understand that kind of the mentality that you're dealing with, where this greatness was thrust upon him. You got your ring. You want to get another ring or then some with your best friend who's now your teammate in a team that you feel like he's the same one that said, "Oh, I don't feel like there's no coach here. There's no head coach here. We're all part of the coaching." You think a motherfucker like that? You gotta take everything you say for face value. Get the fuck out of here. Steve Nash is not your coach, and he like, what you said? Ain't no head coach? Oh no, big fella. No. There is a head coach. Exactly. This Canadian. Hold on. We don't play that shit around here. So I don't care how many championships you got. KD got 2, you got 1. I don't care. I'm still the head coach. So it's like, he has a superiority complex, you can tell. He does. But he's nice.
He's nice.
He's definitely nice.
I get the confidence that's what he was.
Yeah, you can't. You honestly can't.
You gotta be able to phrase
KD's not his best teammate, let's be honest. LeBron is his best teammate, hands down.
And that's all I feel. I just feel like he's been shading LeBron since he left LeBron. And it's like,
why? People read into things a lot, though.
People mean what they say. And they also
but
mean
he didn't say
things they didn't say.
And he said it. He said, if I wanted to say his name, I'd have said his name. Stop reading into things. Kyrie often says things that he has to walk back. Let's be honest. He often says some shit that he gotta be like, oh no, wait. What I meant, well, you shouldn't have to explain yourself for everything. So that means stop saying stupid shit.
That's what I'm saying. Because you know people are reading that stuff.
Exactly.
So at some point you got to media train yourself. At some point you got to media train yourself.
Exactly. Like, it's not like this is the first year you're in the league. It's not like any of this information is new to you. Right. Learn how to kind of self-censor in your face.
Honestly, even Spencer Dinwiddie would be better than him. Spencer Dinwiddie would be doing way better than this man.
But I don't think he had enough time to really prove himself last season because he played like 30 games or something.
Kyrie?
Yeah. Kyrie didn't really play. He didn't really play.
But he's honestly more of a cancer than he is like a leader or a person that changes the team. Like if he had LeBron, LeBron is the reason that team is good and he adds extra. Kyrie is a person he's a ball stopper. That's why the Celtics got way farther without him than they do with him. And that's why Brooklyn would get farther if it was just KD. And maybe like a B. Right? I feel like they probably gonna both fight for the ball.
No, that's what he said in the interview. That was part of what he said in the interview. He said, "Yo, I have no problem with him taking a shot because I know he's better than me." That's part of him giving him his flowers. He's like, "Yo, I know this man can do." But honestly, that's your best friend. You fought to get him there. You're the reason why he came to Brooklyn. So I think it's gonna be more of a LeBron AD relationship with them because they already have that bond, they already have that familiarity with each other, and they want to win. Like, they both want to win. Kyrie wants to prove that he can make it without LeBron. He can get a championship without LeBron. KD wants to do the exact same thing. I could come to a bum ass team and get it. I don't need Golden State. I don't need Golden State. Golden State not as they are now. They trash now. But when they healthy, it's gonna be Golden State and the Lakers next year. But in all actuality, I think KD is good for Kyrie because KD's gonna humble Kyrie. You know you're not the best player on the floor anymore. Yeah. You know you're not the only ball handler on the floor anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know for a fact, this nigga's better than you. Like, it is what it is. Like, you gotta accept your fate and play your role, big fella. Like, that's really it. So hopefully it does humble him. I will be there, if we can be there, in my season ticket seats. And see what magic actually happens, because the Brooklyn Nets are really our savior, because the Knicks ain't doing that.
Seven overall.
Can't even catch a break with that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even catch it. Come on, son. Timberwolves. Oh, Timberwolves got the number 1 pick. Golden State got the number 2 pick. Oh, that's mercy. Either Weissman or Ball is going 1 or 2. Pick whichever you have. Either Weissman going 1, Ball going 2, or Ball going 1, and Weissman going 2. However you want to flip it.
The rest of the draft is cheeks.
Exactly. The rest of the draft is garbage. Oh, boy. So, yeah, that's the fate of Jimmy Dolan's team, to draft another trash-ass player. Cool. With that, we bid you adieu before it gets way too dark and you can't see our faces at all. Yeah. Wonderful. It has been a pleasure, America. Again, get Mr. Elajas' new book on all reading platforms, soon to hit Audible.
Behind Blurred Walls.
There we go.
Secrets to expanding your brain.
There we go. Yes, and like we said before, leave your comments below. What is your favorite part? What is your favorite lesson of the book? And one lucky viewer will get a prize yet to be determined. We'll figure that out later. Minor details. But go out, get the book. It's going to help you get your followers up, help you achieve your goals in life, help you just be a better all-around individual with your stankin' asses. But from us to you, I am King Tash.
Shanty.
Taylor Elajas.
We love you, America. Good night, and thank you for tuning in to XY Chronicles podcast.